Rap and Reason podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins. All right, you are tuning in to another episode of Rap and Reason podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins. What's going down, man?
How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, bro. Just on the grind, man. Per usual, bro. We got some exciting topics to talk about. But the first one we got to bring up, you have a documentary that just premiered this past week, bro. Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir, man. It's been a blessing. We actually debuted our film, The Hands That Shape Tomorrow. It is a short film that is revolved around early childhood educators being underpaid and their impact and experiences. And yeah, man, dope story. About 22 minutes long, directed by Kyra Knox, Emmy Award winner, Philly native, and just dope director, dope producer. And yeah, man, it was a dope experience. We had our first premiere earlier this week. Amazing turnout. All of the educators featured in the film were actually present and were actually able to be on the panel together, which was dope. So yeah, man, it was overall just a really great experience. We got 2 more screening dates coming up that I'm excited about. The next screening is on March 4th in Westchester at Uptown Hour. And then after that, it's in Philly. We'll be in Philly at the Philadelphia Film Society Center, and that's on March 23rd. So, man, definitely try to come out if you can. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Solid, man. Solid, bro. And yeah, I expect you to be dressed best, bro. Or best dressed.
I gotta try to put it on in there, man. I gotta try. I had to put on the full suit, you know what I'm saying, for this last one. I don't know if they're gonna get the full suit. I might switch it up, but the first one I said, all right, let me go ahead, black suited out. You know what I mean?
Man. Like Oscar night. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get the Oscar fit together. You feel me?
Got to, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Like watching your work on that big screen, it hits different. I have seen this film probably 100 times. Just being on the producer side, like seeing different versions of it and giving feedback on different, renditions and edits. I've seen it so many times, but it still hit different when it's on that big screen with that surround sound. Completely different experience, man. Highly recommend y'all pulling up, bro. But yeah, man, what you been on?
Man, same old, bro. Arts coverage, entertainment news, everything, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a wild storm of events and stories to tell, But I'm a simple dude, man. I just do the work, and hope that I'm fulfilling the needs of our readers, man, our viewers. So yeah, man, just another week of the life, bro. That's it.
Yes, sir, man. Make sure y'all check out Earl's work, man, on the Inquirer, man. The dope articles. I'm wondering, we'll talk about this a little bit later, man, but J. Cole is going on tour. Do you think you're going to be covering that?
Yeah, probably. I'm going to be covering it, or I'm going to have to fight my man's Dan to cover it. Like, yeah, we got a dedicated pop music critic, man, who does dope work. But yeah, I'm going to need that with my man. He might have to have a tap on the shoulder, a friendly tap on the shoulder.
We got a book about the man dropping in May.
Come on, man.
I mean, come on.
Come on. Let me do it, bro.
Yes, so one time for the one time, man. But nah, dope, bro, dope. We got a lot to get through today, man. So this is episode 78. One of the things we have to talk about is Baby Keem, TDE signee.
Pglang.
Oh, I said TDE. My bad. I be getting them mixed up now. I forgot it's Pglang now. Pglang signee is dropping his album, has dropped his album Casino. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We also, LaRussel, we'll talk about his record deal that he has signed, and also a little controversy that he's facing online, only on the internet. But
only on the internet, yeah.
Only on the internet. But we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And then we'll talk a little bit about J. Cole's rollout also. So a few things to get into today, man. But it's only right that we start off with Baby Keem's new project, Casino. All in all, man, what was your thoughts?
Man, this is a dope body of work, man. This might be one of my favorite bodies of work, one of my favorite albums of the year so far. And I know we still early, you know what I mean? Okay. But we've had major artists drop, and bro stacked his cards on this one. I'm not gonna lie. No pun intended with it being called Casino, but like I feel like he really went all in on this, bro. Like for real. Like it has a mix of introspection. It has that classic Baby Keem rattling flow that we are kind of used to. You know what I mean? I've been following Baby Keem since like 2019 or something like that, since his debut mixtape, and seeing his progress on this one, bro, it really opened my eyes, bro. Like, I think this one is going to take him to the next level, especially with the visual. He got the visuals behind him. Of course, he got his cousin Kendrick, big cuz, co-signing and sponsoring this, bro, who you can seemingly get a feature from him at the drop of a dime. That's going to take you to new heights, new audiences. So I think Casino is going to be the one for Baby Keem going forward, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more as far as this being a dope project.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the best of the year for me personally,
Mm,
just because I'm still listening to the fall off heavily.
mm,
That's aging like wine in my car. But I will say this fire. Like I
mm.
like off first listen, I will say that this has exceeded my expectations just based on some of the other music I've heard from Baby Keem. I think this is an elevated Baby Keem that we haven't
Hmm.
really heard yet. And I think this is going to place him in a different lane in hip hop.
For sure.
Um,
For sure.
I think that he was very transparent about his story, and I think that that was able to really shine through. I think those are most of the high points of this album for me are his introspective moments where he's really diving into his life story. And I think, of course, he still gives you some of the Baby Keem music that you
Yeah.
know and love, the club sounding music, but he mixes a lot more of the deep storytelling throughout the project. And I got to give him high credit for that, man. And when we're talking about the intro, he goes straight off into it. No security, fire,
Fire. That's on
fire,
fire, bro.
fired. Dope joint. Very open about his family. Touching on the his relationship with his mother and his family, and that feeling of being used. And I think most people. Maybe not with their mothers, but I think that most people who've achieved any level of success can kind of identify with, starting to feel used by people around you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I think that is I think that he did a good job of really tackling that element. Um, then we get in the casino, man.
Heat.
He this
Heat.
is
That,
more of that Baby Keem that most people know is, and he gave you that on Casino hard. I can't wait to play it in the car. I've only heard this album once. It just dropped at midnight, so give us a break. But um, our first listen, hard. I can't wait to play that one in the whip.
no, for sure. And even like the production side, bro. Like, I've always been a fan of King because I feel like he's really selective and he knows what production works for his style. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But I feel like the production on this album, Casino is another example. You know what I mean? You have like the slot machine, like, cutting into the record.
facts.
And he's bouncing off the production well and really just giving you that classic Baby Keem sound that we're accustomed to, bro. But it feels elevated on this. And I
I
think it's
agree.
partly elevated too because he's talking about more stuff. And he's wedging it or sandwiching it into like those introspective records. So the big club records feel that much more important. And he's just rapping better. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like for a long
Yeah,
time, we talked about this off the pod. I felt like I think Keem had this period in his career where he just wanted to show you, like, yo, I can rap well, but I don't rap like every rapper you're used to, right? Like I feel
right.
like he was trying to show, yo, I'm an alien when it comes to the flows I'm trying to get off. But like I felt like it was packed with like stuff that really didn't mean much. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like on
Mm,
Casino, I really feel like he mastered the two worlds. Like, yo, I can out rap you and give you these experimental flows, but I can also give you some substance along with it. So yeah, the first to start this album off that way, dog, it was a win for me already. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
yeah, man. I couldn't agree more. And it's funny because out of all of the songs on here, I probably rock with 8 out of 11,
Mm,
and that's a great average.
mm.
So especially in hip hop today,
Yeah, for
there
sure.
aren't many albums where I like that much of it and like really rock with it. And I think this one, there's only about a few tracks that I fall out of it that aren't necessarily my that aren't to my taste of hip
Yeah.
hop. And I would say the next two tracks are that for me. Birds and
Mm,
the Bees, Good Flirts. I wasn't really feeling. I think that they just sound a little they sound kind of childish to me.
mm.
So I kind of zoned out during those. But
Yeah.
after that,
Oh yeah,
After that, it's a movie, and that's why those two kind of felt out of place in the sequence.
it did. It did.
Um, but after we did you what did you think? Did you like Birds and the Bees and Good Flirts?
No, I didn't. I didn't, and
So they
I
took
don't
you
know.
out too. Okay, so it
I
wasn't
don't know
just me.
why. And I think it's because it like yeah, to your point, because when House Money comes in after those two records, it's like oh okay, we back to it now. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like we didn't heard so much hip hop music, and we know what certain records why they're placed there in sequencing, right? It's to break up the monotony, right? Of
Yeah,
like you can't have too many bangers all at once, because then it'll make me feel how I felt about Don Toliver's album, which is like yeah, this don't mean much. Like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
up for it, but like I need something that will really stick to the bones. I say that a lot. And I think like maybe the two songs like Good Flirts and the Birds and the Bees, maybe there could have been another introspective song right there between to like lead up to House Money, but I felt like these weren't it. It was
But
adolescence, you know? Yeah.
yeah, and honestly, maybe it wasn't even that. Maybe it could have been another. It could have been another banger like Casino. I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if even necessarily think it had to be super introspective. I would have been okay with that. But for some reason, those two just after No Security and Casino, it just didn't really. It didn't really work as well with me. But
Mm-mm.
then once we get to House Money movie,
Oh yeah. That's gonna
House
be a banger.
Money
Yeah.
was House Money is hard. That's one of those another one. I can't wait to play it in my car because it's a hard record and Kendrick's verse, stupid.
Stupid. Oh, he went crazy. Like this to me is going to be like what was it on Blue Melodic Family Ties or whatever record
Yeah,
they had together that version. This is going to be that with House Money. 100%.
100%. No doubt in my mind about it. House Money is one of those ones. I to me, out of the songs on here, there's a couple that I think could go off and be hits that they should push as singles.
Hmm.
House Money is one of them.
It's probably the top for me. I ain't gonna lie, and we'll get
Yeah.
into another one that I think could. Nah, there's another two.
There's another two for
Honestly,
me that I think could
yeah.
work.
Hmm.
House Money is at the top of my list though, of those joints. Then we get into I'm Not a Lyricist, which is amazing. And he
Phenomenal.
lied. That is a lie, brother. Brother, you lied. That you're
Lied to our
rapping on there.
face.
You're
Ugh.
rapping on there. That one I would say was the most shocking out of all of these for me, Baby Keem, because I just didn't know that he could do this.
Yeah.
I'm not. And you're more versed in Baby Keem's catalog than I am because you've been following his career trajectory longer. I have not. So he might have some other songs like this that I just completely haven't heard.
He don't.
But okay, so
I'm just
okay, then
letting you
I'm on
know.
the.
Ugh.
Okay, so this is different. Like this he was in a completely different bag here that I just didn't expect. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, no, and I had a few friends that were like, "Nah, this sucks." Like, I'm just like, bro,
I don't know what
are
they.
y'all not used to listening to rappers that can form full sentences? Like, you gotta like sit with certain sit with certain records, bro. This is to me his version. I hate to compare, but it's you know what I mean with Kendrick being on this album and then being linked, right? This was his man of the guard, not the same level, but like this is
Mm,
his rendition of something like that. His take, right?
yeah,
Like,
I like that comparison. I like that.
yeah,
This
and I
easily
feel
sounds like something that this almost sounds like something that could have almost been on like a Section 80, to be honest.
no, it does, right? Like it got like a Kendrick
Uh,
mixtape
uh,
feel to it
yeah,
almost.
early Kendrick for sure.
Yeah.
Dope,
Um, or
dope
overly
record.
dedicated or something. But yeah, this was hard, bro. This was hard.
Yeah, definitely hard. Then we get into man, and I ain't gonna lie, I like this joint. This might be my nice nonsense. This might be on the
Yeah.
nice nonsense. The Sex Appeal featuring Too Short.
Hard,
It's
bro.
it's an ignorant record, but it is amazing. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. That joint is a good time. I like that.
Oh, this joint is fire. And like it to me, it keeps reminding me of the fact like bro grew up in Vegas, at least partially, right? So like sex appeal and all that, he's bringing the allure of the strip to this record.
Yes.
And I think sex appeal is that version of that, right? Like so
Yes.
I
It's
really
only right.
liked it. Yeah, I like that insertion of that record in here.
It
Yeah.
makes so much sense in an album centered around not only called Casino, but with his ties to Vegas, it makes a lot of sense to have a record that really tackles that side of Vegas.
Hmm.
And yeah, I thought it was done right, man. Too Short is 2 for 2 this year. Too
Yeah.
Short got a joint on Jill Scott's album, which I'm still parsing through. Fire.
Mm.
On that one, he's not necessarily rapping. He is rapping, but it's more so he's providing an element of. I'll talk about it a little bit later. I don't want to get out
Okay.
of the project, but dope record is it's about it's using pimp more so as an analogy on Jill Scott's record.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's about how people are being pimped here in the country. But dope. Shout out to Short. I love that record. Then we get to Highway 95 Part 2 Hard.
Hard, man.
Another
Hard.
one. That's what I said. After that burst and the beat good flirts, it's straight through for me. I really rocked with that record as too. The Circus freestyle hard once
Another
again.
hard one, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get to one that I didn't really care for as much. I didn't really like Dramatic Girl.
I liked it
Um,
a little bit, but it took me some, getting used to it. I had to warm up to it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I be
yeah,
forgetting that Keem is a simp sometimes. And I think like these are reminders, like he makes simp look good, which is dang near impossible. But I actually like this record. I thought Shay Accrue did a really good job. Like her vocals were kind of like solid. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Good pairing. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I
yeah.
wasn't mad at the actual like the vocals. I thought were good. I think
Yeah.
the song overall just sounded real pop like to me, and it didn't
Mm,
necessarily. And like I said, to me, these are just moments that take me out of the overall sound of the album. And I get
mm,
why people do. I get why they try to break it up.
mm,
But for that one, it just coming from the Circus freestyle to that, it just was a weird switch. But I'm gonna go back and listen to it. Maybe it sounds different in the car. Maybe it on second, third listen. But on first listen, it was just a little too pop for the style of hip hop that I like. But
mm.
then this is another highlight. This final record, No Blame. I'm not gonna lie. This was almost one of them goosebumps listening to it. Like
For sure.
this one is one of those ones, and if this album ends up getting Grammy nominated, I think this is one of those ones that might deserve that nod, man. No Blame is a record that he's talking about his relationship with his mother,
Hmm.
um, and the struggles that they've had in their relationship, and it's just done just yeah, it's deep, it's introspective, it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
I would say that it is how open he is with talking about certain elements. You don't often hear people talk about the negative relationships they may have with their mothers in songs.
Never. It's
Even when
always
they
the
do,
opposite. Ugh.
other than Eminem, and that's Eminem. So.
That's the first thought I had too. Yeah.
Yeah, other than Eminem, people love their mama. You know what I mean? So even when they do have um issues with the way that they were raised or weren't raised by their mothers, a lot of times even most hip hop artists even tackle that with care, I'd say.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um like when you even think about a dear mama, when you hear how Tupac is talking about his mother being on drugs and some of the things battles that she faced, it's still done with a level of empathy. I think
Yeah.
Eminem is the only one that wasn't no empathy. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no. No, no.
But most in hip hop, everybody love their mama, and I think that Baby Keem was able to do it he was very transparent about his relationship, but I think he still was able to implement a little bit of that empathy in there as well. I think it's just an amazing song that, like I said, I didn't expect from Baby Keem, and I think that this is dope that the audience he's built thus far is going to be able to be introduced to this type of hip hop.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? The ones who love just jumping around to songs and without paying attention to the words. I'm glad that they're going to be able to like be introduced to like this,
Right. Right.
and it'd be interesting to see their feedback because I think he's going to get some new fans, but I can see his past fans being like, "What is this?"
Yeah, exactly. Where's the Orange Soda, for example? That's a record that's the first record I ever heard from him. So they go from Orange Soda, which dropped in 2019, to a No Blame. You know what I mean? It's just I think the progression he's made is what made this album that much doper to me. Just because like I didn't a lot of this we didn't expect, bro.
No,
I didn't
I,
expect to hear a No Blame on this
I
record.
didn't expect. Well, I expected it only because of the rollout.
Mm,
I think that him rolling out the documentary style clips online that are talking about his childhood, talking about his relationship with his family, talking about, their battles with everything from, substance abuse, what I mean, streets, all of that. I
mm,
think us getting that, I knew that there had to be some of those elements in the album or it wouldn't have made sense. Like you can't have a
mm.
rollout like that and then the whole album be club records. It would I think that PG Lang and you know, of course, they're the lineage of TDE to a certain degree.
Yeah,
You know, they just are much more calculated than that.
a
So
hundred
with
percent.
rollouts, so I figured there was gonna be more. There was gonna be some deeper content here than what we're used to with Baby Keem, and I think we got that here, man. I am. This is high up there on my list. Like I said, this year we're only in February,
Yeah, early,
but
early.
so far, man, this project, Cole's project, and Sheesh, their project, they've given me a lot by February.
Oh, for
So
sure, bro. Like to start the year off, it's looking like a good year. Now I don't know who else is on the docket to drop, but they got to come a little crazy considering
yeah,
all the artists and all the releases that we had so far, and it's only been what 6, 7 weeks into the year, man. So yeah, like this is another one of those for me.
100%. I think hip hop is getting to a place again, which this makes me happy, and is people you gotta be talking about something. I
Yeah.
think we're finally back at a place where you know what I mean. If you're not rapping about anything, you're not gonna
Mhm.
last.
Yeah, flat out,
Flat
flat out.
out. I think we're getting to that place where, yeah, you can have a club record.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can have some of those songs that aren't necessarily, don't have a lot of substance. But if you're
Hmm.
just doing that, I
It's
think
not
you're
gonna
dating.
work.
I don't think you're gonna have that longevity anymore. And I think that unless you were already grandfathered in, you know
Hmm.
what I mean,
Yeah.
from the last 5, 10 years, I
Hmm.
think newer artists, I think that there's now becoming more of an expectation of what are you talking about? What are you actually saying?
And even like outside of music, like I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I'm not even paying attention to certain artists like on the social media tip, on a YouTube
No.
tip, unless they're actually addressing real issues. Another artist from which we really admire, you put me on to, LaRussel, had a lot of things to say, but I thought it had a broader conversation to it, right? Than just
Yes,
doing
sir.
stuff just for the sake of doing it to get some clicks. You have artists that still do that, don't get me wrong, but I think like hip hop is starting to change course a little bit when it comes to like where we're drawing our eyes towards and our ears. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing it
Yeah.
in real time. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that was a good transition right there.
Boom. Right there, man.
That was smooth. That was smooth, and that leads us into our next topic, man. First things first, man. With LaRussel, LaRussel is a Bay Area artist from Vallejo. Um, he's been grinding for a while. We've been talking about him a lot, not only on this podcast, but just in general. I've been a supporter of his for quite some time and following his career and his trajectory independently. And he recently announced that he signed to Rock Nation.
Fire.
Fire, man. I think that's a dope, and he's made it very, very clear in every interview that he's done that he is retaining his masters and that this is a partnership deal for distribution, and that he is retaining all of the ownership of his music, which I think is even more amazing. So the fact that he was able to leverage what he's built thus far into a favorable deal, I think is a good. I think it's good, man. I think him being under that Rockefeller Rock Nation lineage, I think not only makes sense, but I think it's gonna help take his career to the next level.
For sure. And I think it still holds to his mission with that independence, right? Like he's keeping his masters, he's keeping his publishing and all the things that like so many of our favorite artists haven't had the opportunity to have or keep or acquire. You know what I mean? So I think that's also important because you can still benefit from Rock Nation on both sides. LaRussell's going to benefit, they're going to benefit from it. And I think he's playing the game the way that he wants to play it, bro. And I think
Mhm.
that's like a dope story and dope journey to have, bro. Honestly, I think so. Like you have people
Yeah,
that aren't as knowledgeable who haven't taken the time to read about the deal. It's pretty much a partnership, bro. Like that's pretty much what
you
it is. LaRussell
100%.
was quoted saying, "Yo, I haven't been able to tap into radio. I get to do that now." You know what I mean? And it just
Yes.
make him blow up even more. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that um that push, I think, is the one thing that was stopping LaRussell from breaking into quote unquote mainstream. It's hard to really
Mhm.
even tell what mainstream is anymore because of the internet.
Yeah.
But I think that that was getting him stopping him from being pushed into the next level of
Hmm.
stardom, I would say, is having that backing and but what he was able to accomplish independently,
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but salute. So shout out to LaRussell, man. And for those who are not aware, LaRussel, right after signing this deal, ironically,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting in itself. There's
Yeah.
definitely a Rock Nation hate train that's going around, which is
Oh, for
I've
sure.
yeah, it's interesting to me. But not too long ago, a clip went viral of LaRussel saying that specifically that there was a point of he talked about how big of a fan he was of Lil Wayne. Of course, they cropped that part out, but he went on a long
Of
tangent about how
course.
much he loved Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
and how he grew up and really loved Lil Wayne's music and how he was influenced and then that inspired him to rap and yada 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 yada. So he went on a long tangent about how much he loved Wayne, but then he pivoted and said there was one point where he grew a disdain for Wayne because as he matured as a man and as a human, he said he started looking back at the music and being like, dang, Wayne wasn't really saying that much in most of his music. And and he started talking more about some of the negative things that he felt
Yeah.
like people were being influenced by from Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just that clip of him talking the negative part, that went viral, of course. And
Of
everybody's like, oh,
course.
who are you to talk about Wayne? Wayne has a bunch of deep songs and introspective music and yada 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 yada. I'll say my thoughts. My thoughts on it were interesting. I've given this almost exact same critique about Lil Wayne.
Literally almost verbatim, but go ahead,
Almost verbatim.
man.
I've said this
Yeah.
on this show,
Mm.
and in lectures. You know what I mean? And in the classroom when I talk about Wayne's music and when I teach my hip hop courses, um, it is I use some of Wayne's music. I use Georgia Bush
Yeah.
in my classes when and how he was able to use his his voice to speak up on what was going on in Hurricane Katrina. I've
Mm.
used other records by Wayne, and so it's not to say that Wayne doesn't have um profound records, but to me it was
Mm.
people have to realize how much music Wayne has released. That's one.
Yes. Yeah. A
But
lot, bro.
I've always questioned not only I almost felt like there was a regression where he stopped talking about anything deep or anything profound or even introspective at a point and started. And I would say that that turning point was really like the Carter 4. And he would do it
Mm.
every blue moon. But after like the Carter 3, it started becoming few and far between.
Yeah.
So I don't think anything that he said was wrong. What were your thoughts when you heard it?
Nah, when I heard it, bro, it made the most sense to me, right? Like, and it's something like I'll be honest, before we started the podcast, I didn't really think about why, because I hadn't been a Wayne fan, like a super big Wayne fan for many years. I would say
Yeah.
probably since Carter 4. So like for me, it was just
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I'm not really hooked on I don't have the same idea of Wayne at this current point as maybe others who grew up with him as I did, you know what I mean, or even before who knew him
Yeah.
from the Hot Boys days and seeing his maturation from that point. So like I really didn't have that attachment. So everything that LaRussel said is how I felt. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
100%.
I
But
don't go to Wayne for that, and I never
no.
really have either. You know?
But I think it's also an age thing. When you think about our ages, I'm 32.
Mm.
You're how old are you?
29.
29. I said I'm 32. I'm 30. Did I age myself? Am I 31 or
Yeah, I
32?
think you did.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm 32. Yeah, boy, I done forgot my own age, man.
I
What's
thought
going
you
on?
was okay. All right. I thought you was 31, bro. October came
I
fast,
am.
bro.
I'm 31. I don't know why I just made myself 32. Crazy work.
Uh,
But no, what our age, I'm 31, you're 28,
29.
29. So you being 29, we grew up with mixtape Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mixtape Wayne. And to me, mixtape Wayne wasn't was rapping at an elite level better than everybody else at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't based on substance. So it was based on bars
Exactly.
and witty punchlines that nobody else could think of other than Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he was freestyling that made it even more impressive and amazing and
Right.
genius, right? So we grew up on that Wayne. We were little when the Carter 2 came out and when the
Yeah.
Carter 1 came out,
Young.
where he was really more introspective of an artist. I think that also plays a role in it. And I think LaRussell's around our age too. So I definitely think that plays a role in it and when you grew up and when Wayne was popping.
Yeah.
But I think on top of that is we're used to it being the other way around, where a rapper might come out not rapping about much, and they end up evolving and starting to talk about more. That's typically the trajectory,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
and I think that with Wayne, we're seeing it kind of the other way around, and I
Hmm.
think that that is different. You know what I mean? So I can see why people who grew up listening to some of Wayne's more conscious of. If you listen to the Carter two, like the Wayne is talking. If you listening to the Carter one, Carter two,
Yeah.
you're hearing Wayne. You know, I miss my dogs. You're hearing all of those type of records. So when that kind of stops,
Hmm.
it's you know. I mean, I can understand why somebody would have a critique of that. I didn't think LaRussel said anything that was flagrant to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like he said, what everybody who listens to Wayne or has, not
Yeah,
everybody, but a lot of people have been saying, bro, I bashed the Carter Six. Like I thought that album was really bad, bro. And it was for the exact reason that Lil Russell pointed to, as well as other people in hip hop media pointed to. It's like, what am I taking away from this album? Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't have
yeah.
any of the things that I would want for someone of Lil Wayne's stature. You know what I'm saying? And experience, like. He's not old. He's not old man by any means, but like he's an elder statesman in hip hop. He's an icon. So it's like, do we have a 444 like to take away from Wayne? You know what I mean? Like at this point in his career, I would say no. I would argue no.
I would also argue no. And like I said, Wayne, some of Wayne, and what's crazy about it is some of my favorite Wayne songs are the ones that are more introspective. Hustler's Music is one of my favorite Wayne
For
songs.
sure.
Tie My Hands is one of my favorite Wayne songs. Georgia Bush is one of my favorite Wayne songs. So Wayne
Mm.
has those moments, but I think that in his greater catalog, it stopped. And it might just be that's just not what he owned in life. And it seemed like that even by the statements he's made and that were controversial. I mean, it don't seem like he's what I mean? It don't seem like he care about much that's going on in the
I'm
world.
gonna be honest. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
be
he
real,
does,
bro.
bro. I don't think he does. And like, okay, it makes me think like, do we come to grips with the fact that like some artists, man, especially with someone of like Lil Wayne stature, which aren't many, right? Like he's one
Mhm.
of probably like five in hip hop, like when it comes to our generation, right? Um, maybe bro don't care to like talk about politics. Maybe he don't care to delve that much into his actual life, not only just his, the things that he indulges in, right? Like some people are just like they wanted to get to this point so they ain't have to ever think or discuss those type of things, right?
Yeah.
And that's just the reality. But on that same note, when we call people out for it, because we see other people, his other contemporaries doing just that, right? Or doing the opposite of what he does, we have the right to do that. I don't think what Little Russell said is wrong, and I don't think it's wrong for us as hip hop fans to want more from our icons. The reality is he just may not have anything to say, bro. But I'm deciding not to tune into it at the same time. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like I said, I think that most people's critique was who are you to say something about somebody with a catalog like Wayne? And I mean, I get it. And I spoke about this on the show. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of artists critiquing other artists in podcast format. I'm not, me personally.
Mm,
I think, I think there should be an honor amongst people in who are in the same profession to a certain degree.
mm.
Like it'd be like you coming out publicly and dogging out another journalist. You know
I
what I'm
wouldn't
saying?
do that. Yeah, I
You
wouldn't
see
do
what I'm
that.
saying? Because it's
Mm,
because y'all in the same, you know what I mean, field. Same thing with
mm.
me, and that'd be like me all day coming out and dogging out another professor. You know what I mean? It just is. I don't think it's necessarily tasteful. So I get it. I can understand, but it didn't seem like Russell was doing it out of any malice.
Mm-mm. It
It seemed
sounded like the dude that was the co-host was a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it seemed like he was having a transparent conversation with his relationship with Wayne's music, and I don't think he was doing it on some,
Hmm.
yeah, Wayne. Like it didn't
Right.
that wasn't the tone of the conversation to me.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's the thing about when you take clips.
Clips, man. It's the death of certain certain people's like
Oh
thoughts,
man,
reputations, bro. Like these clips can get y'all in trouble, man. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like I said, I think you also have to take everybody's age into consideration and when they became a Wayne fan and what Wayne they grew up listening to in what era. I think you're gonna view Wayne differently. You know what I
100%.
mean? Wait till you get in your 30s, or you start forgetting when your birth, how old you are. You know what I mean? It's on the way, bro.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo, crazy man. But
Crazy work. I didn't forgot. I'm like, am I 31, 32? I'm talking about 32.
yo,
Crazy. Yes, sir.
what else we got, man? What else we got?
What else we got on the docket, man? Let's see. All right. So it looks like we also have to discuss J. Cole. Man,
Yes,
J. Cole has been really on a dope what I really love tour. A really dope meeting the people where they are, just driving around, pulling up on people. And I know people personally who were around where he's been pulling up. He's been pulling up to just neighborhoods. He's been just pulling up to HBCUs. And what are your thoughts on this style of promotion, if you will, of you know what I mean you know renting a old car and I'm just riding around and touching the people.
yeah, well, yo, I think it's dope, bro. Like we love fan interactions like that, dog. It's just organic, man, and I'm glad they have it
Mhm.
on video. You know, it's one thing to hear about it, it's another to see it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I just think it's a dope tactic, man, especially with him touching, from what I've seen, touching a lot of college campuses or a lot of college towns, right? As well as major
Mhm.
metropolitan cities where a lot of his fans are. Um, yeah, man, especially with this quote unquote being his last album, I feel like it's important to gift the people that have supported you throughout your career, your musical career for what it is now and what it will likely be going forward. You know what I mean? And whatever phase that may be or what it'll look like. So I love it, bro. He came to Philly,
Mhm.
totally missed the boat on that one, bro. I ain't even know where he was at.
Oh.
Somebody should have air tagged him, should have threw an air tag on a dread or something so we could keep tag of where he at. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I saw that he pulled up to Philly, man. Crazy.
Crazy, dog. I love this tour, man. I
I
love the
love
candid moments that we get from it too.
I love the candid moments as well
Mhm.
of him chopping it up, man. I saw a clip not too long ago. I can't remember the guy's name of this guy rapping to him in his car
Yeah, yeah,
and Cole giving him feedback. Dude was nice too.
yeah.
But I think just moments like that are just dope. And he's really I also have to throw in this. I appreciate that J. Cole is being very intentional with pulling up on black communities.
Yes, yes,
I I think that's dope because he could have easily did this and just going to the downtown of every city or but he's intentionally going to black communities, black colleges.
yes.
And I think that's also to be it's also commendable and I respect it. And I think that J. Cole is somebody who has has always carried his self and his career with something with respect, really. You know what I mean? And I think that he gets that wherever he goes, just because of the fact that he's decided to carry his career the way that he's carried it. And I think it's dope. I think there's not many artists who could do what he's doing right now.
Not many, very few, and you can tell
Not many at all.
the reason why I always love Cole music, but also there's very few artists who are champions of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
it don't even I'm sure he got security, right? Like with them, but it doesn't seem like he's being overwhelmed by fans so much
Mm.
so on some disrespectful stuff. Like
Nah.
bro is himself and walking amongst the people and touching the people. Like I love that part of his fandom, you know, of his career, because I feel like his relatability is what's carried him so far, you know, and will continue to. I love that. And he's still in them, I don't want to call him dirty, but he's still in them sweatpants. Like, bro, like he's an everyday type of dude, man.
Yeah.
I love it, bro.
It's dope. It's dope, man. And I think that, man, one thing that this is showing,
Mm.
y'all, the internet is not real.
It's not real, man.
All of these
Not
people
real.
who fake don't like J. Cole and his music that's on the internet, these are 12-year-old weird kids in their mom's basements who are on the
Yep.
internet talking about how much they hate J. Cole. It is, if you can look at these videos, it is not that is not real life. The internet is not a real place.
It's not. It's not, bro. And
It's
even if those 12-year-olds make it out of their mom's basement through those locked doors or chains, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Mr. Cole, can you sign?"
Yeah, 100% full fan mode. That's why I'm like they people on the internet are just talking, but when you actually get out into the world,
Hmm.
that's what's real. And so I respect him because he's an artist that's at a caliber where he does not have to do this.
He don't have to do that at all. He could take the weekend route and never talk to a single soul. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Drop music and be
ugh.
done with it, go on tour, and that's it. You know what I
That's
mean?
it. So I love it. I love this, man. And again, I'm glad because Cole has been for a while, I would say, like purposefully, like intentional about how he's presenting himself, right? Like, he's not hopping on live stream with a bunch of, streamers who promote, misogynistic or, white supremacist messaging. I'm not pointing fun at Drake. Oh, sorry, I said his name. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that. Like he's actually being intentional about the stuff that he's doing, man. So, and I love it. And he's giving us even deeper insight into the type of man he is, the type of artist he is, as much as he has ever before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love
Yeah, 100%.
that.
100%. He is not hopping on there with some of the clown YouTubers just go around. And I also appreciate that. That is yeah, he's handled this one with grace. I have a random thought that I want to shout
Hmm.
out. Because I think sometimes we let um we sometimes we devalue certain people in our culture based on whatever their past work is or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give a random shout out that you're not gonna expect. Yo, shout out Tyler Perry.
Huh?
I, I
Huh?
I'm gonna say this, man. I watched Tyler Perry's last movie that's on Netflix.
Hmm.
Oh, what's the name of it? What is the name of it? I'm actually gonna shout out to Tyler Perry new movie. I want to get this name of
This is
this
the
film.
randomest shout out on this show.
You
We shout out everybody.
hands down one of the most random shout outs for sure. I already knew you was gonna be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Joe's College Road Trip. All right. Now
Okay.
I'm somebody who's never been the biggest advocate for Tyler Perry's films. Granted, I've not seen all of them, but I've seen some and been like, yeah, this is not what I'm into.
And I've seen
But
enough. Yeah.
yeah, I've seen a lot. I would say Joe's College Road Trip. I'm gonna shout out to this specific film. It really touches on the importance of Black history and what it looks like when Black history is being removed.
Mm.
Um, and just hilarious. But I'm gonna be honest, this is a Medea movie that is hilarious, but it also is he's throwing in a lot of messaging about the importance of Black history and what it looks like when that's taken out, and how these kids can grow up lost and
Hmm.
whitewashed without that element being in the schools. I thought he did a good
Hmm.
job of it. Of course, it is a goofy Medea movie
Of
still,
course. Of course. You
but
know.
I thought it was good, man. I enjoyed it, so I want to get that shout out. My auntie is also in this movie in the background in the club,
What?
which is even more hilarious. The club scene where they in Mississippi. Shout out to my aunts. I ain't gonna put a name on the pod. Shout out to auntie. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
He actually went to Mississippi to shoot that scene. And which is hilarious and dope at the same time. But I want to get that shout out because I think that that's not being highlighted enough as the dangers of what they're doing with trying to remove Black history out of schools. So
100%. Yeah.
random shout out. Told you it was gonna be random.
I love it. I love it, especially because it illuminates such a big message, especially here in Philly, where the Trump administration removed
Mhm.
those panels from the National, Museum historical site in Old City, which is one of the most historical sites in America, really. So the fact that he removed um, panels that were reflective of Black American history, is particularly slavery. And now you see the National Park Service is actually putting some of those things back in retaliation. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna do this stuff on Black History Month? But anyway, it's come on. Like, we shouldn't be surprised at this point. You know what I'm saying?
You
From the
you
Trump
you are
administration.
you already know what it is. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah, but I think that illuminates like a larger topic just about the dangers of removing or scrubbing or omitting history, and what that does to the people. You know what I
And I
mean?
and I and I truly do think, like I said, even if you don't watch Tyler Perry, I am not a Tyler Perry movie watcher.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, his movies do not necessarily speak to me. There's a couple that I've liked throughout the years, but
Mm-hmm.
his work doesn't typically speak to me. This is one that I think is worth watching. Like I said, it starts off goofy, just stick with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some good messaging in there for the youth. So on that front, shout out Tyler Perry. All right, hitting hits.
Hitting hits, man. What's your hitting hits, bro? I gotta scroll mine up. Go
You
roll
know what?
mine
I
up.
need to do the same. Let me go ahead and pull up the Spotify, man. So hidden hits this week, man. I got a few that I want to get through, man. One, we talked about it a little bit. Jill Scott and Too Short got a joint on here called on their new album, on Jill Scott's new album,
Mm.
um, called BPOTY. It stands for Biggest Pimp of the Year, featuring Too Short.
That's just great. This is hidden hits, not nice nonsense. Okay.
No, this is hidden hits. She's actually talking. She's using pimp as an analogy for um for what America is doing and what
Mm.
and she even calls out the church on there as well and them pimping out
Mm.
the black community. So
I
no, it's
love Jill,
actually
man.
not about actual pimping, but it's more so
Yeah.
used as an analogy. Dope record. Dope. No, this one's not nice now. This is Jill Scott. Come on, you should.
I
I know
love
Big
Jill,
Trust on it,
man.
but it's Jill, man. Come on.
Yeah,
You know
man.
Jill gonna come with the message too.
For sure, for
I
sure. She a
mean,
poet, man. She started out being a poet, man. Of course, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, hers talking about, I mean, everybody from, America, the healthcare system, schools, all of that. Like
Yeah.
it's more so focused on that. And then she just uses Too Short to speak on what a pimp is as a more so an analogy to, the
Mm,
comparison. But
fire.
dope record. What else we got on here? I'm gonna do a throwback, man. Jay-Z, Lucky Me.
Mm. I don't think I've heard that one, bro. What's that
Oh
off of?
man, that
American
is
Gangster?
on.
What is it?
No, that's in my lifetime volume one.
Oh wow. I
Check
should
it
know
out.
that then.
It's hard record, man. Where
Mm-hmm.
he's really talking about, some of the things he's had to deal with success and how
Mm-hmm.
everybody kind of just assumes that he's just lucky and just and only looks at the positives, but not
Yeah.
necessarily the negatives of what that comes with. Dope record. Um, I will also throw in another one, and I don't think this was a big hit, so I'm gonna do it. It kind of was a hit slightly, but heard him say.
Mm.
Kanye West from Late Registration featuring Adam Levine, man.
Fire.
I randomly ran back across the song not too long ago, and I was like, yo, I forgot how much I love this song.
Yeah, man.
And he talking on there, like what
Oh,
he's
he going
saying, the
crazy.
messaging on there. Another really, really dope record. That's what I got for hidden hits, man. What you got?
Man, I'm gonna go local on this one, man. So I got the opportunity, I should say, to interview Core this weekend. He's a big Philly
Nice.
rapper. I think he's the most consistent, one of the most transparent rappers out of the city that we heard from in a long, long time. But I went back to his catalog, also listened to his new album, which is called Art, ARD, which means the art of summoned this one. I'm butchering it. But anyway, dope project, man. So I'm gonna go to a song called Reminding Myself, which is one of the last tracks on that album, which I highly recommend you listening to.
Okay. Yes,
And
sir.
it's just a record about reminding yourself of just how far you've gotten in life and just your mission, right? Like it's not about like hitting certain like getting certain notoriety, right? It's about making sure you're landing the outcomes that you set out, right? Your goals. You continue
Yeah.
to push it forward. So I think it's a good message, good record.
I gotta check it
Also,
out, man.
yeah, for sure. That's it, bro. Yeah, I wasn't really
Yeah.
listening to a lot of music. I ain't gonna lie this week. Nah, nah.
Yeah, I gotta
Mhm.
check out Court, man. I just discovered Court not too long ago. I talked about it on this show, and I liked what I've heard so far. So I'm definitely gonna check out his new project. Somebody else just when I was out the other day was telling me that he just dropped. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out, man.
For sure.
Now let me go. Let's go to Nice Nonsense.
Let's do it.
I might only have one for Nice Nonsense this week, man. But
Same with me.
this is enough nonsense for everybody. Juvenile
Yep.
and Genesis the God have a new track called BBB.
Mm.
This is as ignorant as it get, and I'm gonna blame my girl for putting me on this little ignorant song when we was in the car this past week, and she turned this on, and I said, "This is ridiculous," but I'm with you on this. We was vibing.
Yeah,
BBB, it stands for Big Booty. It's ignorant. I just want to be very clear. This is pure ignorance, and this is why it's so nice nonsense.
I love it, man.
Not-
I love
Uh,
Juvenile, man.
but this is one of those ignorant songs that I was like, this is gonna go off in certain settings. So I will give it to Juvenile on that one. Nice Nonsense is what we, for those who do not know, this is where we cover songs that, don't have some of the redeemable qualities as the ones that we cover on
Mm-hmm.
It Bits. So that was the most ignorant one I've heard this week. This slap.
Yeah, I love it, man. And because Baby Keem dropped, bro, I went to the Blue Melodic, which is the album before Casino. Um, Title alone should tell you how ignorant this is. It's called Do Rag Activity with Travis Scott, man. Really, really, yeah, man. This was one of my favorite records from this one, bro. I was probably listening, wearing a do rag while listening to it, for all I know. But nah, this is another banger, man. Classic King banger, especially before this renaissance, or not renaissance, but this evolution he's taking on. So yeah, he's rapping out of this world, but this is like some black
Okay.
Nike forces or some black force type energy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dope record.
Nice, nice. Yo.
Hmm.
Dope, man. So yeah, y'all check those out. Um, man, make sure that you all are subscribed to the YouTube channel, man. Y'all subscribe. We'll start putting out more content on YouTube. Those who listen to us on audio platforms, shout out to y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit that 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple, whichever platform you listen to us on. Also, we have a book that is dropping in May. Please make sure that you are pre-ordering this book. It is called Raps of Resistance: How Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole Reignited a Hip Hop Tradition. It drops May 14th. It's on pre-order now. Dope book, the dopest about I'm going flat out. The dopest book about conscious rap that really documents it from its inception to how it's been elevated by Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole.
Hmm.
Dope book, dope book. Please make sure you go ahead and pre-order that. Everywhere the books are sold, Bloomsbury, it is publishing through Bloomsbury Academic. So pre-order it on Bloomsbury, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, wherever you buy books. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Until next time, bro.
Until next time, man. Episode 78. We out.
We out.